here, along with Brandon Burns, who couldn't be here tonight, but this was my committee to help put this together, and they are going to help introduce speakers tonight. So just a little background about PechaKucha. It was founded in Tokyo in 2003 by Klein Dylem Architects, and you can check out, internationally there's over 1,000 cities that are participating at PechaKucha.org. You can see other presentations online. So with that, we'll begin with the first introduction.
Number one, Ilknur Ozgur is the Director of Communications, producer, and founding member of Artstillery, an experimental non-profit performance company that empowers marginalized communities and reveals the rawness of truth in human life. Artstillery devises original works on an immersive performance art platform. Ilknur currently serves as a commissioner with the Dallas Office of Cultural Affairs, representing District 6. Welcome.
I do, and I get to go first. Wait, don't start it yet. It's very clear that I'm going first. And everything that goes along with that. All right. Damn it. Hello. Yes, I am Ilknur Ozgur, and by day I am a Crossville Studios rep, but I am also a commissioner on the Office of Cultural Affairs representing District 6. I'm also on the Fort Worth Avenue Development Group board, and I'm also the founding member of Artstillery. Artstillery is an immersive performing arts company, and we focus on marginalized communities and tell stories that references like the rawness of truth in human life. And it has been such a beautiful journey. This is a photo that dates back 7 years to when I started doing this kind of work in Dallas. This is me right here. I could hardly see. But what is immersive art? Immersive performing art is different than traditional theater. And I find that it's a platform to work in that is very visceral, and space has so much to do with our process of writing scripts. Everything that we do is an original piece. So for example, man, these are going fast. This is a dilapidated shotgun house. When we were trying to figure out who we were, what is Artstillery, we went to a developer and we said, we need space. And he said, I've got 3 dilapidated shotgun houses in West Dallas. Why don't you go do something there? And so for an entire summer, we cleaned 3 shotgun houses out. And we got ringworm, and bed bugs were all over us. But during that process, we found a journal inside of one of the houses. And it was a woman by the name of Shirley who lived in one of these, with no running water, no medication for her illnesses. She was kidnapped and they broke her hips, they broke her arms, trying to get her government checks that she really was never getting. And we all read her journal and we cried. And we said, this is the first story we're going to tell. And so inside of those 3 shotgun houses, we created our first performance. And even during that time, we had no idea what our mission statement was. And we knew that it was going to grow in time. And so this is us rehearsing inside of another warehouse that we got really sick inside of because we had no money to have a rehearsal space. But performing and rehearsing in these spaces helped us feel what Shirley felt too. And it helped us with how we were going to write our work. This is the outside during one of our performances. Look at the lighting. There was no power on that property. Everything for the performance ran off of 1 generator. This was just a test run for us. We said, who are we? And in a matter of 4 days, we had 80 people coming to see the show and crying with us every night. And when you would come, that's me when I had blue hair. And I was setting up all the lights outside with my 1 generator. And we finally started to learn that we were on the right path. Our mission statement was changing and evolving, and we were okay getting dirty. And what we found out was that there was a Baptist church, maybe 2 plots of land away from where we were working. So we started working with the kids at the Baptist church, and we taught them how to do storytelling with their own personal stories. And it was such an amazing experience. So we would have rehearsal in the morning on Sunday when they had church, And then when they were done with church, we'd walk over and we would teach the kids storytelling. Then something happened. We became really official, and we got business cards. And we were like, what is this? And we started to manifest. And what we manifested is, I said, guys, we're going to perform at the Nasher Sculpture Museum. And they were like, are you crazy? And I was like, no, we're going to perform at the Nasher. So we thought we would take Family Dollar and do it at the Nasher. But then something happened. The immigration ban happened. And we saw our board members at airports protesting. And in a week, we changed our entire story for the Nasher. And we created a multi-religious prayer ceremony at the Nasher. So when everyone showed up, all they heard was a call to prayer. And when they opened the doors, there were people of all cultures praying together. Then what we also do as part of that is guerrilla marketing. So this is a silo, and we do a lot of projection mapping, so you have to map out the actual silo to present your images on top of it. So that was us doing guerrilla marketing for our next performance, which was called Dirty Turk, focused on issues of immigration. So this is us in my backyard. This is my team. It takes us about 9 months to create an original work. And the way we do it is through creating a base script storyline, and then we interview. So we interviewed immigrants, migrants, and refugees all across Dallas-Fort Worth. And it was such a beautiful experience. This is us using overhead projectors for shadow puppetry. It's a really great thing to research on your own to see the type of storytelling you can do with it. And what we created was a story that encapsulated the stories of over 50 immigrants, refugees, from across the land that we could get our hands on and talk to. And we took their stories and we immersed it all under one roof of a Turkish family's home. And so when you go visit something immersive, you taste things, you smell things, you are a part of the performance. There is no wall that keeps you from my performers, that keeps you from anything I've designed to come at you. And there's stuff that comes at you. And some people sometimes say, ooh, that felt very violent. And I'm like, imagine how they felt when they were at home and there was a bomb that hit their house. I need you to feel that too. I need you to feel what they felt. And so we also created puppets, backpack puppets. These were made at UConn by my friend who worked on Lion King as well. I met her when I was working for Blue Man Group Chicago. And here's one of our final press photos. These puppets represented the grandparents, the number of stories that we heard about grandparents and their struggles, and it reminded me of my own grandparents. If my grandparents, as they used to say, if we didn't get away from Stalin, you wouldn't be here. And it's absolutely true. And we heard this story over and over again. And what we learned was, we stand on the shoulders of giants. And how do I represent that in immersive performance art? I make an 8-foot puppet. It was a really beautiful experience. So you got to come into our performance and live with these puppets and live with us, and there were call to prayers happening during the performance, and you would get to walk around, and it was just your own visceral experience that you created on your own. And